Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I think it was funny. One of the things I learned on this trip that I just came on is, a split of a second. I know a lot of the stuff that I do and I show on YouTube, I get a lot of ridicule. That's crazy, that's not going to work, it's no good, and all this kind of stuff. But what it is, in my world, when it comes to any level of combat, whether it's hand-to-hand with no weapons, a knife, tomahawk, firearms, it doesn't make any difference. I measure everything in a split of a second, and I do demonstrations on that all the time. I do demonstrations, and I show people that there's a lot of splits in a second. And so in other words, a lot of people say, well, you know, it doesn't seem like you're scared of this or scared of that. Okay, you're not scared of getting shot, not scared of getting knifed, you're not scared of none of this stuff. You're right. And I want to try to explain how the split of a second works. Okay, you've seen my carry. My carry is already, it puts me probably about 2 or 3 splits of a second ahead of anybody else. That's even if they have their weapons drawn. And an example of that is the guy I shot in the convenience store. His gun was drawn out and ready. The only thing is, it took him too many of a splits of a second to move it a 90-degree angle. It was already drawn. Just to move it in a 90-degree angle took too many splits of a second. And for me, I was able to get it up faster. That's one reason why I use 9mm. 9mm is, it doesn't have as much kick. Yes, people say, well, you're not going to kill them. I don't care about killing them, because you're right. The bigger the hole, the more chance you're going to kill somebody. I'm not looking to kill anybody. I am into self-defense. And I don't measure time. You don't see me, you see them, they get their timer, okay, beep, and then you draw and you do. I don't do that shit. I don't do sports. What I do is real life. I really do shoot people. You know, I really do this stuff. And we don't have a timer when we do it. So I really can't give you the exact time. But I can pretty much shoot my 9mm 2, maybe 3 times in 3 different targets, providing I can get them in the right, you know, not like 1, 2, 3. You know, if I can get them kind of halfway together, I can get 2 or 3 targets in less than a second with a 9mm. With a 45, it's not going to work. You get too much of a kick, it takes too long. It takes 1 or 2 splits of a second longer to recover from a 45 coming up than what it is on the 9mm. And this is what I talk about the 9mm, the slide, where the slide is on your hand, if it's above your hand a little bit or like that, and mine it's right down, just right below or right above the web of my hand. So this way I don't get as much of a kick, and so that's why I can shoot so fast. And I haven't shown people my shooting because, like I say, it's one of these things that's way beyond. And another thing is a knife. Okay, a knife. When somebody cuts you, if they're slicing you, they're going like that. Okay, you're not in danger here. You're not going to get hurt here. You're not going to get hurt here. You're not going to get hurt here. The only time you're going to get hurt is right here. And that's as it's going by. So you have a split of a second of danger, and then the knife is by you. You're not in danger anymore. So I'm looking for that split of a second where I'm in danger, where I'm not going to be where that knife is. So same thing when they're going in. There's no problem here. There's no problem here. The problem is once it gets to you, don't be there. And then the knife will miss you. So I'm not concerned about that stuff. I look for that split of a second that is in danger, and that's the time that I will not be in that spot, and I will not be in danger. So that's what I'm saying. You have to look, when you look at my stuff, you have to be looking at a second is a long time. I've mentioned this before. In a gunfight, if you're in a gunfight with me, within, well, not a gunfight, but a self-defense situation, and you're coming at me, within the first second, I'm going to know if I've got the advantage or you have the advantage. So it doesn't take long to know if, you know, where you stand when the firing starts. Okay, and as I talk about the three-man militia, it's the same thing, the meet and greet group. I've talked about that. The gunfight that's going to start with the three-man militia will last 3 to 5 seconds. That's all the gunfight's going to last. I know and understand everybody watches TV and they see all this crap, but when you have this planned out properly, like I say, the gunfight will be 3 to 5 seconds long. And that's what you want in a militia type situation. And so, in other words, if it's going to be 5 seconds max, every split of a second matters. And I've given you drills on how to shoot for this 3 to 5 second time. So to do it right, and everything is set up using splits of a second. So don't underestimate the split of a second. Split of a second is a long time. When I was on, like I say, on the motorcycle trip, I don't know how many times somebody would pull in front of me, or you know, something would happen, and I had a split of a second to make a decision and to make my move. All of that had to be done in a split of a second. And that's why I'm saying, you know, you have to be aware that a second is a long time in a combat situation. And a split of a second, you can do a lot. You even seen it with my tomahawk. Just think, when you try to go hit something with a tomahawk and try to measure the time that it's going to take you to hit whatever it is that you want to hit. Okay, now, when you watch my video, I've got to move that a split of a second. I got you. That's it. And most everybody else is just trying to get in position. A split of a second, I don't let people get in a position. A split of a second, I can change the whole outcome of a combat situation. A split of a second is what you need to focus on when it comes to combat. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.